So off we go once more.
Barcelona have been the team that have had the lion's share of possession and chances. OK, they haven't got much to show for it, but I think it's a case of keep going and eventually...
Can he finish?
Rafinha. Yamal. Spread out to the left.
Oh, the less said about that pass, the better.
Yoro.
Casemiro. Diogo Dalot hurtling down that right flank. Could try cutting inside here.
Cross needs to be good.
Oh, he's brought him down, and it is a penalty. Barcelona present their opponents with the best possible chance here. Well, the protest continues, but in the end they are defending the indefensible. A time for a cool head, and that is precisely what he showed.
I just think the keeper committed himself too early.
Manchester United have penetrated for the first time.
Šeško!
He's got away with one there.
Modern football for you. You get zero time to think on the ball. Take too long, and that happens. It gets pinched.
Pass somewhat off target.
Having a shot! Oh, denied brilliantly!
Yeah, he was well placed to deal with that.
That pass isn't the best.
Your impression so far, Jim?
Well, the time has arrived to start taking risks. They may well be happy just to level this.
Cambio de jugadores.
Rafinha. And it's Rashford. For Ferran Torres.
Shaw.
Matheus Cunha does have his name on the score sheet, of course. Challenge just a bit on the firm side. Yamal has got himself a free kick.
Se va a realizar un cambio de jugadores.
Ugarte gets his final warning.
Well, he knew what he was taking on there, Peter, and special delivery from the ref.
And it's Balde. Rashford.
And he's going for goal! Oh, that could cost them.
Ah, that was so poor. A very decent chance, and the disappointment is all too obvious.
That has not gone well.
It is looking like the end. If anything's going to happen, it's got to happen now.
Look, their path is set. They have to take risks in every situation now. That will annoy the manager. They're making themselves too predictable here.
Menu.
Habrá 5
Casemiro.
minutos de descuento.
Yoro. And they'll start all over again with the goalkeeper. Now Heaven. Menu.
Casemiro.
5 minutes to add.
And we're done.
Quite a game, and one that was always on a knife edge until the very final whistle. No shortage of endeavour, effort, at times effervescence, but just one. Welcome to those who have joined us all here on a beautiful, clear evening. The conditions contributing to a fantastic atmosphere in the stands. This really is the place to be.
I'm Peter Drury, and this is Jim Beglin. A delight to have him on board.
Hi Peter, always good to work with you.
And he's decided to go for it.
Shaw. Jim, who do you pick out as the telling individual today?
Well, I've always admired this striker Sesko, Peter, because he's got that flair to his game, that swagger. You see a lot of it in his clever link-up play, and when he's making movements inside the box, his anticipation and decision-making are second to none.
Yeah, he'll be looking for a goal or two.
Shaw is very much the model of the modern-day fullback. And he's had it nicked away. Yamal.
Rafinha. Neither side yet able to find the net.
Shaw. Now it's Matheus Cunha. That's been cut out, well played.
Rashford.
That's a good run down the left.
And he's forced to go back.
It's a really well-measured ball. Ugarte. Matheus Cunha.
Oh, that looks a cracking ball.
Yamal. And Rafinha. Eric Garcia. Balde. And Rafinha. Nicely spread.
That's the throw.
And it's De Jong.
Back they go. And that interception was most necessary.
That was well played, well stopped.
Rashford. De Jong.
And here's Ferran Torres. Distributed tidily. De Jong.
Oh, nice touch.
Yamal.
And that is going to be the final action of the first half.
A decent enough half, but neither side able to get on the score sheet. Time for some fresh ideas in the second period, perhaps.
What have we learned from the first 45 minutes?
Well, I wouldn't say it was the most potent performance, Peter, but defensively, very composed. The scoreline might still be 0-0, but I'm expecting things to open up a bit more in the second half.
So we are still where we were at the beginning. It is 0-0 at the break. So we're straight back at it at the start of the second half.
Barcelona have been the team that have had the lion's share of possession and chances. OK, they haven't got much to show for it, but I think it's a case of keep going and eventually you'll get your break.
Now it's Yamal, and it's Rashford.
Quality ball.
Balde.
Rashford. Nothing wrong with that tackle. Ball won cleanly.
Tries from a long way out.
Great effort, but no way through. Very little to report from an attacking perspective.
Jim, it's a cagey old game.
Yes, 0-0 and little promise of a goal due to the shot-shy nature of this contest, but I'm not giving up on it. There's plenty energy on the pitch, not to give up hope just yet.
It's a good ball out wide.
It is a corner.
Se va a realizar un cambio de jugadores.
And we have our very first corner.
And that has been cleared.
Manchester United are looking to go forward now. And it's Rashford.
It's run loose here. Played out to the right.
Whistle's gone, that's a foul.
And no surprise, that's a booking.
Cambio de jugadores.
Bruno Fernandes. Diogo Dalot.
Yoro. To Martinez.
Shaw.
Matheus Cunha.
Bruno Fernandes. And he's in on goal. There's the shot! Off the post! And he's managed to get rid.
Well, that might be that, Peter. Maybe both sides just going to have to settle for the draw now.
Well played. That has snuffed out the danger.
Habrá
That is
2
good
minutos de
strength.
descuento.
And into the grateful arms of the keeper. And that is that.
Frustration, exasperation, vexation, certainly from an attacking perspective. Neither side able to make an impression despite all the huff and puff.
Any reflections on what you've seen, Jim?
Well, neither side could get over the line here. Perhaps one team might be happier, but at the final reckoning, it's honours even and no complaints.
My thanks to Jim. We both wish you a very good evening.
Se recuerda a nuestros espectadores que cualquier persona que presente evidentes signos de embriaguez podrá ser expulsada del estadio.
Welcome to those who have joined us all here on a beautiful, clear evening. The conditions contributing to a fantastic atmosphere in the stands. This really is the place to be.
I'm Peter Drury, and it's my chance to say that it is an absolute delight to have Jim Beglin beside me.
Well, I can tell you, I'm truly delighted to join you, Peter, and thank you very much for that.
There is a massive sense of expectation emanating from this part of Milan. The giant arena bearing the name of perhaps the finest player ever to don the famous black and blue jersey. It is simply a gorgeous, gorgeous sight. Well, there are plenty looking forward to seeing this, a capacity crowd here.
Well, the atmosphere, Peter, certainly doesn't feel like a friendly. We all know about the quality we have.
Decent chance! Oh, and they really should have been made to pay.
Now it's Martinez. Nice interception, his positioning was spot on.
Rice,
Inter Milan, still without a single shot on target.
Bastoni did well to emerge with the ball. That's a contest to keep an eye on. Out towards the flank. Luis Enrique. That is lovely.
And it's Barella.
Barella! Oh, that is very close.
That's a great effort. There was very little backlift to indicate what was coming.
Luis Enrique.
That's a good foot in there. Zielinski. Martinelli. Barella.
And it's DiMarco.
Zielinski. It's a really well-measured ball. Cross to the back post. Saliba can get it clear. And he's quick to snatch it back. And he's picked out the run. Oh, that's fabulous. Knocks it into space. Madueke picks it up out wide. Crosses it in here.
That was well seen too. Good clearance.
Zielinski. And that is going to be the final action of the first half. So we go in at half-time with both defences still yet to be breached. They rather cancelled each other out in the first period. Let us see what the second half brings. An engrossing half, but we're still where we started, 0-0.
Attenzione, una sostituzione.
Whistle goes, and we start the second half. So the first half brought no goals. DiMarco. Zielinski. Çalhanoğlu. Zubimendi proves too strong. Arsenal have got it back and they'll have another go. Arsenal ran themselves into the proverbial cul-de-sac there. Not the most accurate pass. Over to the left. Best part of an hour and still no breakthrough from either side. Almost an hour gone. Throwing pass. Out of play for a goal kick. And it's a corner. And it's been taken short. And he whips it in. And that has been cleared. And he thumps it clear. Cleared away. Inter Milan have the chance to go the other way. And he's in on goal.
Well, he got rid because he was under pressure.
And they're back on the ball again. Just about up to 75 minutes. Well, that looks a decent... Can he finish? Oh, the keeper's done ever so well.
Madueke actually didn't do an awful lot wrong, to be honest.
Attenzione, un cambio.
Now some movement on the bench, and we are going to see a change. Oh, smashing header! And he's there to get it away.
Well, there's no doubt that they want to win this, Peter. They'll have to maintain...
There's the shot! A potential goal of the season contender, if only.
Yeah, I think he's a little annoyed with himself there, Peter, because he did pretty much everything right up to the end.
Rice plays it short. Ødegaard, there's the header! Didn't quite get enough on that.
Look, the defending wasn't too clever on that last chance. The cross had to be denied.
Zielinski is being harried and hassled.
Yeah, he's had so much room to operate in. He's been running the show, but maybe the curtain's about to come down on him.
Searching pass he's played there.
I think we might be done here, Peter. I don't see there being enough time for them to try again.
Good effort from distance. Gave it a go, but off target.
Look, there has to be more urgency here. The ball has to get to the other end much faster.
An inviting looking ball, that. No, that's been intercepted. Now it's Thuram. That looks a cracking ball. And Martinez! Oh, he did the hard part right, but fluffed the finish.
That's really well played. It's just the type of run you need. Off the shoulder of the last defender, stay onside. Well, in my opinion, set pieces are 50-50 moments, and this is a rather big one, and it all depends on the service.
Barella. Saka. No, he refuses to take the bait.
And that's it.
So a tough one to gauge. Defensive dominance combined with wastefulness in attack, and the outcome inevitable. Hello and welcome one and all. The atmosphere building very nicely here. Gorgeous, gorgeous evening. The skies are clear, the noise is fervent, the atmosphere frenetic.
I'm Peter Drury, and seated in the experts' hot seat is our man Jim Beglin.
Thanks, Peter.
And he's had a hit! It's a look. Oh, what has happened here? And he's following up! Decent enough try.
Yeah, I think he's going to be a bit disappointed with that, Peter. You would have fancied him to at least hit the target. Well, at least they acknowledge the effort.
Luis Enrique. Luis Enrique.
Oh, this is a terrific run.
And it's Zielinski. Knocks it out wide. That pass surprised everyone, and not in a good way.
Not the most convincing of passes.
A probing pass.
The less said about that pass, the better. First quarter of an hour gone. Some front-footed pressing going on here.
Timber. Ødegaard.
Foul and a free kick in a very dangerous area. Oh, that's a booking, always looked it. Inter Milan, so far providing no real test at all for the goalkeeper. And that's really well manoeuvred.
Well, there is a look that says it all. A piercing stare.
Well, that's down to a simple miscalculation. No more, no less.
Now it's Enrique.
Luis Enrique gets flagged offside.
Luis Enrique.
That's been intercepted.
That was well played, well stopped. They've got a healthy number of very tall targets to pick out from.
Goes for a shot! It's fallen kindly here.
Goal! Inter! And Inter go in front.
Some heroic goalkeeping, but even that couldn't save them this time.
Well, that's not the best attempt by the keeper, and he's just paid the ultimate price, hasn't he?
That looks a foul. Yep, referee's given it. Now then, what's happening here? He is already on a yellow.
Bastoni has been sent off, just to confirm that, of course, that was his second yellow card. That's a risky ball, you've got to say. Barella. Luis Enrique.
Looking to penetrate opposition lines.
Opts for safety. Timber gets over and intercepts. Plays a sharp little ball here.
Chips it through. Oh, that's an excellent interception. It looked as though that might lead to something quite promising, but it turned out that that was not the case. That's a good ball.
Ci saranno
Barella.
3 minuti di recupero.
For Luis Enrique. Cross in, looks like a good one. Well read, nice interception. Madueke. And there is the half-time whistle. Well, there were plenty of talking points in that first half, but just the one goal. It's still anybody's game here.
On the evidence of what we've seen, they're worth their lead. There was genuine intensity and purpose behind what they brought to the game. I think they'll want a strong start just after the break, though, to force the issue that bit more.
Inter Milan are 1-0 up at half-time, and it's all to play for. So we're straight back at it at the start of the second half.
Well, if you're ahead, it's a good...
Whistle's gone, and the referee has given a penalty. And that is a huge moment in the context of the game. A formality, we're level. Not a twitch, not a blink.
Should we have ever doubted him? Cool as you like.
That has certainly made things interesting.
This is exactly the kind of contest you'd expect when you have so much class from both sides. The next goal is going to be so significant. We're in for an intriguing second half now, contrasting moods that could reverse in a flash.
L'affluenza di quest'oggi è di
Akanji.
80.113 spettatori.
Çalhanoğlu. Oh, that is asking for trouble. Can he finish? Goal! Arsenal! They've done it! It was coming! They have their reward!
Gol per l'Arsenal.
Well, one moment you're in possession, the next you're picking the ball out of your own net. That one will stick.
Attenzione, una
Look at the manager
sostituzione.
here, he's absolutely fuming and he has every right to be. You can't win football matches if you give the ball away like that.
And now he has two. Arsenal get themselves into the lead.
This is the perfect example of how to play with a man advantage. Move the opposition from side to side, wear them down, deserve goal.
And it's Zielinski. It's come through and he's had a quick look inside. Oh, that's nice. He's tried one! Denied by an instinctive save.
Yeah, he was well placed to deal with that.
Now this could be a chance. Çalhanoğlu has given away a free kick. And he is going into that little black book.
Attenzione, un cambio.
Rice. Passing is crisp and sharp. He's been bundled over, that is a foul. Yellow or red? It is red. Well, they are now a 9-man team. He's gone direct. Decent hit from there. Challenge just a bit on the... Gets his head on it! Oh, that's a foul, and the whistle's gone.
Well, it was deliberate, it was cynical, and you have to understand the frustration of being denied a clear opportunity, but it had to be done.
He's gone for the shot! Well, now it's a race for the ball. Inter Milan are in dire need of a breakthrough. Can they?
Well, it's looking like too little too late, but they are giving it all they have.
Stood up well to him there. Oh, super find. Oh, he's having a shot! Really well taken goal. And surely that clinches it. There really is no way back now. One sweeping move executed with deadly efficiency.
Arsenal are such an adept counter-attacking team. They produced something out of nothing there. A few seconds was all it took for them to convert a defensive situation into a goal, and it's very impressive.
And it didn't take him long. Just sitting on the bench and waiting moments ago, already he has scored.
I think the manager's claiming an assist here.
Arsenal could not...
And we're done. Well, what a game. Unpredictable to the very end, momentum shifting this way and that. The kind of... Hello and welcome one and all. The atmosphere building very nicely here. Gorgeous, gorgeous evening. The skies are clear, the noise is fervent, the atmosphere frenetic. My name's Peter Drury, and here's my co-commentator for the game. It's Jim Beglin.
Cheers, Peter. It's a privilege to be here. It really is.
Well, you've got to say the Nerazzurri certainly know how to create an atmosphere. 80,000 here in black and blue. The dress code is a strict one. It is a true heavyweight clash.
Well, with nothing resting on this, Peter, I'm hoping that there'll be more impetus for the players to just enjoy the game with the pressure off, try out a few different things, and we get something open and free-flowing.
If you're just joining us, we are already underway. He's been taken down and the referee has pointed at the spot.
Inter Milan really could have done without this.
And he's buried it! 1-0!
A time for a cool head, and that is precisely what he showed.
A picture of confidence, that was never missing.
So the game's first significant moment, and it's come earlier than perhaps we anticipated. He's looking wide. Zielinski. Zielinski
was alert to the possibilities, but in the end it's fruitless.
Çalhanoğlu cuts out the pass.
And that's the end of that. It all started well enough.
Now it's Madueke.
Decent chance! They've scored! And they're at it again in double quick time.
The movement so precise, the finish sumptuous.
Yeah, when you're hit on the counter-attack like that, it's like walking into a sucker punch.
He's been bundled over, that is a foul. And the referee has shown him a yellow card.
Martinelli.
Foul and a free kick in a very dangerous area. And he's going to have his name taken.
Akanji getting this one clear. Lovely pass, but can he get there?
Oh, that's a foul in a dangerous area.
Bisek has been shown a second yellow, just to confirm. He is therefore off.
And he's there to clear it.
Çalhanoğlu going full steam ahead down the left flank. Luis Enrique. Here's Zielinski. DiMarco. Inter Milan are still behind as we reach out for half-time.
Well, that is one way to stop him. He's come in hard. I have to say, that was an exemplary tackle. Stopped him dead in his tracks. Luis Enrique.
Ci saranno 3
Zielinski.
minuti di recupero.
He's gone for goal! Oh, the ball's run loose here. Cleared without complication. Çalhanoğlu. Good effort from distance. Good effort, and it is right on half-time. How would you review the first half?
Well, Peter, there's no doubting that the situation is quite bleak when you're not only losing, but a man down as well. And while the break is most welcome in giving the opportunity for the players to regroup, there's no doubting that the next 45 minutes are going to be extremely difficult.
Here we go again then.
Well, I think they have to be positive despite the scoreline. The one thing they don't want to do, Peter, is give away an early goal. But they can't afford to get too cagey either. So attack with real devilment, go for that goal and see if they can unsettle them.
Thuram has been shown a yellow card for that offence, just to confirm. He's shifting through the gears here. Rice, and now the breakaway. And that is as far as they're going to go. Plays a sharp little ball here. And that interception was most necessary. And we have our very first corner. Çalhanoğlu plays it short. And it's DiMarco. Can he get it through? That has ended up in no man's land. Arsenal are looking to go forward now.
Well, the way this game is offering less possession, they'll need to have a very good conversion rate.
He's tried one! Straight at the keeper.
Martinelli really looked as though he had chosen correctly then, and yet we quickly realised he hadn't.
Martinelli receives it in a good position here. Not much subtlety about that challenge. Martinelli was ultimately thwarted there, but it took a few of them to stop him.
Yeah, definitely not much wrong with what he tried, all things considered. The defence were just well prepared for what was coming.
Rice, Luis Enrique with the foul. And no surprise, that's a booking.
Attenzione, un cambio.
Played out to the left flank. Trossard. No, not quite on the same wavelength. Zielinski. Now it's DiMarco. So there's going to be another change here.
Cambio di
Well, for me,
giocatore.
this was the obvious substitution. He'd become just a little jaded, and as a result of that, he was most likely to make a mistake. I think sometimes when the body becomes tired, the brain goes with it, and I think that's happened in this case.
Rice, looking to play him in. Chance, surely! He's beaten the keeper, but hit the post. DiMarco, played towards the other side.
Well, they can at least make a fight of it. Even if it's just a goal, the lift it would give would be huge no matter what the end result is.
Well, that's surely a foul, free kick. Çalhanoğlu has been given his marching orders. He had already been on a yellow card from a previous incident.
Well, when the ref tells you you're going to get booked next time, you should listen.
A slightly better ball would have led to a very different outcome there.
Well, everything up to the final pass looked decent. They just couldn't pick out that killer ball.
Well, nicely intercepted. And here's Ødegaard. Shot could be on. Can he finish? And it's there! And the lead is extended, still firm. And there goes the final whistle. A tale of two teams, one irresistible, unstoppable, the other fragile and seemingly clueless. Inter Milan really did suffer for their lack of numbers here.
Well, to be perfectly honest, Peter, it was hard to see any other outcome. Ruthless opponents who were intent on exploiting their very obvious advantage.
So many thanks to Jim Beglin. That's all we have time for. Good evening to you.